Hey, what's happening? Thanks for checking out my video today. We're talking about bits in pieces or ends in pieces. Now this is something you'll see. Now, I don't know about anywhere else, but definitely in the South, you'll certainly see these bacon ends and pieces from all your different type of local brands, or at your butcher shop, you'll see this kind of pack like this. And what this is all your different little ends and pieces of bacon that was rejected when they were making your normal package of bacon, where they've got a long strip, you know, it looks all nice and pretty and everything in that package. Well, this is the reject stuff that didn't quite fit the mold, so to speak. But hey, listen, it's still good. And you know what the best thing is about this? Is it's about half price. This 2 pound, actually, yeah, 2 pounds of ends and pieces here was right about $4.50, where a pack of the same Carolina Pride bacon for a pound is about $3 to $4. So it's roughly half price. And as you're about to see, it's pretty much just as good. And before you start to think that, oh, maybe that seems kind of gross or whatever, well, first of all, bacon itself is kind of gross if you think about it. Yeah, think about where it comes from and everything else. You know, hey, sorry to tell you, but it's kind of disgusting. And it's also fucking delicious, all right? So anyway, if you like bacon and you're okay with bacon in general, well, let me tell you, you should be okay with ends and pieces, because hey, let's take a look at this. That's actually got more meat on it than a lot of bacon does. You know what I mean? But it didn't fit the mold. It didn't look good in the package, so that's why it ended up here. Ooh, got my cast iron nice and hot, ready for it. Ready for it. Again, another very good meaty piece right there. So anyway, I'm gonna get this pan going, and we'll come back to the video here in a minute once this stuff is cooked up and looking good and ready to eat. And I'm gonna make some more coffee because I had too much to drink last night, so gotta tighten up. All right. So we've about good 5 minutes or so into it. Now keep in mind, I got my big cast iron pan here, and I got it only, only got it on number 3 on the heat. And that's pretty important when cooking with cast iron. That's a well-seasoned cast iron pan, and which will give you a good slick surface, but only if you keep it up. And I only like to use wood utensils on a cast iron pan, although you can certainly use anything else, because it's not like you're gonna scratch it like a non-stick pan. But what you have to always remember with cast iron is you can, if you actually get a good seasoning and coating on your cast iron pan, oop, a little coffee going there, you can actually scratch your good coating that you develop. So anyway, just showing you what this looks like. You know, it's like a big old mess. And I normally like to bake bacon. I will say one of the downfalls of the bits and pieces is because it's so different and inconsistent in the types that you have, where some's granted a lot of fat, like perhaps that right there, versus some's a lot of meat, like that right there. It's not as consistent in the oven. You know, you certainly still can bake it. But just for fun, and this is actually the last day of 2017 that I'm making this video. So that's why I'm making just a big old mess of this stuff. You know, I do like to kind of slowly do it up in the frying pan like this. And like I said, I think I'm about 7 minutes in right here. And it's just really getting nice and good. You know, certainly with being the ends and pieces and being inconsistent, yeah, you do have to stir it around a little bit more, make sure everything's getting cooked good. But that's also kind of fun, and it friggin' smells great. You get everybody up if you're on vacation like I am and you got some sleepy heads. You start cooking that stuff right there, let me tell you, people will start popping up. All right. We're getting a little bit closer to being done here. It's been about another 7 minutes roughly, so we're about 15, maybe 20 minutes in. I don't know. I'm not counting. I don't care. It's the last day of 2017. I'm making a big ass breakfast, and you know, I'm kind of actually still a little bit tipsy from the night before. Anyway, one thing I just wanted to point out here, definitely important with these bits and pieces that you stir it up nice and often, but also just want to show you a tip on cast iron cooking. And hey, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there for it, but you know, even on a very basic stove like this, just a basic old electric stove, cast iron works well. And keep in mind, that's a pretty small burner right there for this big old pot. But you can move the pot around, and one great thing about cast iron is it will get warm and certainly can develop some hot spots, as it is right now on the burner right there. But more than any other type of pan, other than maybe some of the newest induction type of pans, cast iron really disperses the heat well. It's so thick that heat really gets going. So although I am moving this pan around because it's such a big old pan to make sure I don't develop any real hot spots, it still pretty much evenly gives you a good cooking surface. And as you can see, I'm only at 3.5 on the burner here. So another thing that I'll do, especially when cooking something for a long time like this in cast iron, to make sure I don't get anything that develops, and this is another great reason why I'm using wood, and even though metal would be okay because it wouldn't necessarily scratch it just picking stuff up, but you wouldn't do this with metal. But certainly with wood, as I'm coming in here and getting up any of these little tiny pieces, micro pieces of bacon that might sit here and really burn and you know, kind of scorch it. Not only is that great for getting that up, it's also really seasoning the pan so well. When I'm done cooking this bacon and really wipe out and clean this pan really good, this pan's gonna be so well seasoned. Oh man, it's gonna be good. Anyway, so that's definitely something you want to do with if you're doing this with cast iron. Highly recommend good quality, thick, real wooden utensils. Get in there while you're cooking it is the best time to do it because it's nice and hot, and it'll really take, you know, give it those good scrapes like that. And get that. Now this is almost good to go here now. I tell you what, I wish I had. I don't have it with me while I'm traveling here, but I do at home a nice big old lid to cover this up. I could probably turn this off right now if I had my big lid, which I should have brought. I could probably turn it off, put that lid on it, and let that get really nice and hot, and then turn it off, and that stuff would be done. And then I could cook the rest of my breakfast, and that would just be right, you know. Anyway. Okay, so my bits and pieces are pretty much done. Turned my pan off actually probably about 2 minutes ago, and of course with cast iron it really holds the heat. You can see it's still sizzling really nice, but I'm gonna leave it there because I got some other cooking I need to do. I'm actually gonna make some gravy out of this rendered bacon fat here, which is gonna be pretty epic. That'll be my next video. But let's just take a look at that. You know, my light's not perfect here, but man, look at that, really meaty. That's got more meat on it than your average cheap piece of bacon. And certainly there's some really fatty pieces in there too. But you know what? You don't have to eat that. You can throw it to the dog or to your neighbor's kid or whatever, you know, or eat it. It's certainly pretty tasty, or not, you know, but you get a lot of good meaty stuff out of this too. Now, my absolute decadent favorite way to eat bacon, and I'm certainly gonna do it on New Year's. Just a little bit of honey like that. Ooh, man. Anyway, that's bits and pieces. Now, My pan's gonna hold a lot of heat. You see I'm moving the bacon over because the old cheap ass stove, you know, the burner's not even level. So a lot of my grease is coming over here. Got this other pot lid right there. I'm gonna make a little bacon corral like that. Get onto my other cooking. That'll be just fine underneath there. Anyway, hit that thumbs up button. Why not? It's a great YouTube karma, especially coming into the new year. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more of these little snack food, booze, cooking tips type videos. Always poorly produced. Anyway, have a great day. Happy New Year. See you later.